negative reciprocals. And remember, in a previous lesson, we would have a over x plus 1 over b over x plus 1. And the way we eliminated the denominator is we multiplied by the reciprocal of this. So you understand already reciprocals of fractions, right? Today we're talking about the negative reciprocal. If I have an equation and I want the equation of a line that is parallel to that equation, what do I know about the slopes? They are equal, right? If I give you an equation that says y equals 3x plus 4, and I ask you, give me a line that is parallel to this equation and passes through that point. A parallel line will have the exact same slope. All I would do to find the parallel line was go back to y equals 3x plus b, because 4 is not going to be my y-intercept anymore. My y-intercept will change, and plug in 2 for x, y for 3, and I would have the equation of a parallel line. Okay? This lesson is on finding a line that is perpendicular. That's why you need to understand negative reciprocals, because your slope is going to be the negative reciprocal of the slope of the given equation. Okay? So, if I have b over a, the negative reciprocal of that is negative a over b.
So the problem that you just did, it would be negative 1 over 3?
Exactly. The reciprocal of 3, which is 3 over 1, the negative reciprocal is negative 1/3. And that would be my new slope, to find a line that is perpendicular to it.
And 4 would still be the same?
Say that again?
4 would still be there?
No. The y-intercept will not be 4. You'll have a set of coordinates, and you would solve for b.
Wait, so minus 1 over 3 is b right there?
This would be a line perpendicular to that slope. Okay? Let's look at one. Let's look at 31-1 on page 141. Actually, on page 142. Okay? It says, write the equation of the line that is perpendicular to y equals 2/5 x minus 3 and passes through point 3, 2. Of course, my coordinates are x, y. Okay? Yes, Savannah?
Do you want me to say it?
Yes, what is it?
2 equals negative 5 halves.
Okay, just a minute. 2 equals negative 5 halves. I'm going to take the negative reciprocal of that slope. I plugged in my y.
Times 3.
Times 3.
Minus b.
Minus b. I'm going to solve for b. Okay? So now I'm going to distribute my 3 to my 5, and I have 2 equals negative 15 halves minus b. I'm going to continue solving for b by adding 15 halves on both sides. And actually, this is plus or minus b, right? It doesn't matter. What the result is over here tells me if it's positive or negative b, okay? b equals 2 plus 15 halves. Now, I can make my 2 have a denominator of 2 by saying it's 4 halves, right? Plus 15 halves equals b. So b equals what? 19 halves. All right, I'm not done. I have to write my equation. Y equals negative 5 halves. Again, that's the negative reciprocal, right? X plus 19 halves. This is the equation of the line that is perpendicular to this one. Okay? So your y-intercepts are not going to be the same. Yes, Alyssa?
Would it go back to the original slope?
No. No. If it were parallel, then I would have left this at 2/5. So no, you don't go back to the original. This one, these lines are going to look like that. They're going to form, perpendicular lines form 4 right angles, right? Okay, eventually you're going to get to perpendicular and bisecting, okay? So it's important that you understand the negative reciprocal is the slope, okay? Now let's look on page 150. Let's do from lesson 32, number 12. Lesson 32, number 12 as well, okay? All right, this problem on page 150, number 12 says, find the equation of a line that passes through point 2, 2, and is perpendicular to y equals 3x minus 5. All right, so my slope is 3, but over 1. I want the negative reciprocal, so my new slope is going to be negative 1/3. Okay? So I'm going to have y equals negative 1/3 x plus b. Substitute my 2's in for x and y. And I have 2 equals negative 1/3 times 2 plus b. Multiply my negative 1/3 times 2, and I have negative 2/3 plus b. Add my 2/3 on each side. And I'm going to go ahead and convert my 2 to an yes.
What happens to negative 5?
It stays in this equation. This is a completely separate line, okay? It is the y-intercept for this equation that is going to be perpendicular for the one that I am now solving for, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and convert my 2 to an improper fraction. And it's 6/3 plus 2/3. Follow that? Everybody follow what I just did? Equals b. So b equals 8/3. I then go into substitute it in for b, and my perpendicular line, the equation is y equals negative 1/3 x. Many of you forget to write x there after the slope. Plus 8/3. Okay? The last part of lesson 31 deals with remote interior angles. Just quickly, I will review this. If I have a triangle, an external angle is always going to be supplementary to an internal angle, right? These are external angles. This one and this one. This is not an external angle. Remember that? Okay, so do you remember external angles equals the sum of the remote interior angles. So if this were A, B, C, and I labeled that angle 1, I could say that angle 1 equals the sum of angle A plus angle B. Okay?